Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Okay, let us wait some time to join some other members. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. All of you, please mute yourself first. Don't try to create any type of the disturbance during the session. Some of the members not changing their name to numbers. I think Srinivas. Please, Srinivas, please try to change your name to number. Srinivas.
Sir, name, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Some of the members not using mute. 65, 65, 33, Karthik, 13, 34, Pawan, 36, Teja, 61, Nagireddy. All of you, please mute yourself first. Some of the sounds will be creating a disturbance if you are not using mute option. So try to understand this. Still 65, 33, 50. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Okay,
Yes,
let us
sir.
start the session. Okay, sir, may I start my session now, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Start, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Now I'm sharing the screen. In the last class, we are discussing about the second unit of the SCDP. So that is analyzing architecture. Sir, Srinivas, sir,
Yes, sir.
are you able to see the screen now, sir?
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. Wait.
Are
Yes,
you
sir.
able to? Okay, sir. Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the last class, we are discussing about second unit of the SADP, that is analyzing architectures. And second part is also here, so that is moving from one system to many. So in the first part, we are already discussing about what is architecture evaluation and architecture design decision making. So I think the name is implies what is the purpose of analyzing the architecture. Okay, so in the case of architecture evaluation, this is the one of the important design issue. So when we are designing the software architecture, or maybe when we are developing some software to deliver to the some end users, or maybe some particular organization, we should be evaluating that software whether it will be properly functioned or not. So all these things are discussed yesterday class. So the main advantage of architecture evaluation is we are able to deliver good quality of the software. So if you are deliver the good software or good software architecture, that will be easier, provide the easier interaction with the users, and it will be the maybe the chance of increasing the rating also. So that means we are able to achieve whatever it may be we are having the target before developing that software. So that means when we are not able to developing the software within the with the desired goals or maybe desired qualities, then automatically influence the so many members. I'm already discussing about the same topic in the architecture business cycle. So if you are not developing the software with the desired goals, then we try to reconstructing the software according to the customer feedback or maybe the end users feedback or maybe the stakeholder feedback. So that means here maybe the chance of happening increasing the amount at the same time at the same time pupil also, so automatically degrade the performance of the software architecture also. So at the same time we try to reduce the complexity in front of the end users, because those type of members not having the programming knowledge, so they try to easily move with the software. They try to easily performing the operations whatever it may be they're required. So that is the main goal of that is the main intention of this subject, software architecture design pattern. So that means how we are designing the software architecture and which type of pattern is suitable to the end users. So which type of architecture. So that means which type of hello. So all of you please mute yourself first. All of you please mute. One minute. Hello. Okay, may I continue my session? So all of you, please mute yourself first. Don't try to create any type of the disturbance. It will be problem to everyone. So please try to understand this. Okay, in the last class, we are discussing about all these things when we are how to we are performing the evaluation of the architecture and which type of decisions are needed during the making of that particular software architecture. Okay, so that means when we are design the some software architecture, so we need to based upon some type of decisions, design decisions also. So architecture, design decisions are also necessary to make the desired software or desired quality of the software. So in the last class we are discussing about all these things. Okay, so and another thing is here we are already discussing about this thing also. So consider when we are consider the evaluating the architecture, so we should be evaluating the some of the issues. So the first one is financial issue, second one is forced preparation for the review, and third one is captured rational, and the fourth one is early detection of problems with the existing architecture, and fifth one is validation of requirements, and the sixth one is improved architectures. I think the name is implies in which type of it will be performed in that performing the evaluation. So for example, if it is a financial issue, so in that case here we are observing how much of time is needed and how many number of days are needed and how many number of pupils are needed. So all these are verified. So whether the gathering requirements are able to uh, performing the software within the time or not, so that will be verified in the financial issue. So why? Because for example, if the time is increased, then automatically amount is also increased. In some type of situations, maybe the chance of happening the increasing the cost for to making the software within the time. So we try to clearly estimate how many number of pupils are needed, how many number of days is needed. So all these are verified in the financial issue, because that will be impacting for to the financial. So and second thing is forced preparation for the review. So that means each and every time, for example, maybe the software for example, maybe the developed software needed for example 2 months time. So at the time of the situation, we need to provide the reviews, and we try to arrange some type of the sessions between before making the software completely. But why? Because these reviews are used for to provide easier interaction and easier understandability between the developers. So then those members having the clear idea how we are developing this software. Okay, and another thing is captured rational. So I think the name is implies here we are observing how many number of qualities we are achieved. So all these things are verified into the capture rational. If you are studied here, architecture evaluation focus on a few specific areas with specific questions to be answered. So answering these questions usually involves explaining the design choices and their rationales. A documented design rationale is important later in the life cycle, so that the implications and modifications can be assessed. Capturing a rationale after fact is one of the more difficult tasks in a software development. Capturing it is presented in the architecture evaluation makes individual information available for later use. So that means here we try to capturing some qualities, so whether we are achieving those type of qualities or not. So all these are verified. For example, if we are not verifying these things in this evaluation, that will be creates a lot of problems in the after delivering the software to the end users. So and the fourth one is here we try to identify the errors. So early detection of problems with the existing architecture. So that means first of all, in the case of third step, we are identify how many number of things are we are achieved into the developed software. In the case of fourth step, here we are verified how many number of errors, or maybe how many number of modules are not properly functioned, or they are not maybe achieved their quality. So all these things are verified into the fourth step. The earlier in the life cycle the problems are detected, the cheaper is to fix them. For example, if you are find out the errors before developing the software or before delivering to the software to the end user, we can easily performing the modifications, and maybe the chance of happening the reducing the cost compared with the after delivering the software. Am I right or not? So here we are identify so how many number of modules are there, and we try to clearly examine so those type of modules are properly functioned or not. Okay, so if you are not performing that, so then there is maybe the chance of happening the increasing the cost, at the same time increasing the time, at the same time degrade the performance. Okay, and another thing is validation of requirements. So discussion and examination of how well an architecture meets requirements opens up the requirements for discussion. What results is much clear understanding of the requirements and usually their prioritization. Requirements creation when isolated early design usually results conflicting the system properties. So that means all these are necessary. So for example, when we are creating some software, definitely we will be provide some documentation. So that documentation will be used for to providing the easier interaction, even though in terms of developers, at the same time in terms of stakeholders also. So why? Because this will be mainly focus on to the uh, how much of quality is we are achieved. So that means here we are verifying these things: performance, security, fault tolerance. So all these are verified into the validation of requirements. So that means here performing the validation testing. Okay, and another one is the improved architecture. So that means what we are observing from the previous 5 steps, so those are implemented into the 6th step. So that means when we are performing the evaluation of the architecture, we should be consider these type of issues. So first one is financial issue, second one is try to provide the reviews, third one is try to capture whatever it may be required. And in the case of 4th step, we try to identify which type of errors are maybe occurred. In the 5th step, validation of requirements. In the 6th step, improving the architecture. So if you are observing improved architecture, organizations that practice architecture evaluation as a standard part of their development process report an improvement in the quality of architecture that are evaluated. So that means here we are verifying so whether we are implemented or maybe correcting ourselves or not. So that will be verified into the improved architecture. So that means in the previous steps we are verifying if it may be the chance of happening financial issue or not, maybe the chance of happening understandability issue or not. So maybe the chance of happening we are achieving our desired qualities or not. So at the same time we are how which type of errors are occurred, and we are performing the validation testing. In the case of final step, we are verifying total. So whatever it may be we are observed into the previous cases, those are recovered or not. Okay, so in the architecture evaluation result in better architectures not only after the fact but before the fact as well. So over time an organization develops a culture that promotes good architectural design. So that means if you are follows these type of issues or this type of inspection, it will be produce the better quality of the software architecture. So and the next thing is in some type of situations, planned or unplanned evaluations. So we are already know about this. So if you are having some plan about the evaluation, so in this type of way is better to evaluating this architecture. So this type of way is to inspect those type of modules or functionalities of the modules in the software. So that is nothing but planner type of the evaluation. So that will be automatically it will be achieves the quality. For example, if you are not maintain that, so then definitely happening the problems in front of the end users. So then automatically again we are performing the reconstructing the software architecture. So that means increasing the time, at the same time increasing the money also. So that is a not a better reason issue. So we are oftenly prefer planned evaluation only. Okay, so the successful evaluation will having the following properties. In the yesterday class, we are discussing about all these things, but try to revise all these topics once again. So I think the name is implies. The first one is clearly articulated goals and requirements for the architecture. So that means initially we're having some idea. So whatever it may be, who is maybe the developing that software, those type of developers may be having the idea about software architecture, which type of goals are needed or which type of requirements are needed in front of the stakeholders. So clearly articulated goals and requirements for the architecture. For example, maybe so our goal is maybe to get a first class or maybe to get a distinction in an exam. So that is our goal. Then what is our requirement? We try to collect whatever, which type of materials are needed, or which type of practice is needed, or which type of practice model papers are needed, which type of questions are asking frequently. So if you know about, if you are having this information, then we are easily achieving our goal. So that means before achieving that goal, we try to identify which type of requirements are needed to achieve that particular goal. So that is the first step. And second step is control scope. For example, in some type of situations, maybe it will be the out of for example, maybe in some type of situations may be happening, for example, like this, maybe for example, increasing the time. For example, maybe our goal is we get a distinction in a exam. For example, maybe if our practice is not sufficient to achieve that, then we try to control that scope. So for example, maybe if you are able to study only 2 hours or 3 hours only, then we try to increase that scope. So that means here we are controlling that scope. And the third one is cost effectiveness. So this is also the one of the property when we are evaluating the software architecture. So this is the main property. Why? Because software developers developing some software according to the customer needs with the which is necessary. So for example, maybe how much of amount is received from the end user. So based upon that only they are able to developing the software. For example, maybe if you are not able to achieve the desired quality, then we try to increase the amount also. So in some type of situations, maybe happening the losses also. So we are having some idea about this business issue. So how much of cost is, how much of investment is needed, at the same time how much of benefit or maybe the profit we will be get for after developing this software. So otherwise maybe it will be creates a lot of problems, because every employee needs some salary after developing, after working in the some particular organization. So developers should be having the idea, architects should be having the idea how much of amount is needed to developing this software. So in some type of situations, maybe it will be increasing the time, then automatically increasing the amount also. In some type of situations, maybe we try to increase the quality. At the time of the situation also, we need to include some other things to achieving our desired quality. If you are not having idea about that type of the measurements, or maybe the we are having those type of calculations, then automatically occurring the chances of losses. Okay. And another one is the key personal availability. So that means this will be completely related with the architects, so or maybe the software developers. So that means these are nothing but providing the security. Okay. And another one is the competitive evaluation team. So that means here we are verifying whether it will be maintains the exact qualities or not. So that means what we are having some desired goals before developing the software. Sorry. Hello.
చెప్పండి సార్.
Hello.
చెప్పండి సార్.
Sir, are you able to see the screen now, sir?
Yes sir, yes sir.
What's the topic now, sir?
A successful evaluation will have following properties.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. So these are the main properties for to achieving the successful evaluation of the software architecture. Okay, so we can try to identify, try to revise all these points once again. Clearly articulated. An architecture is only suitable or not in the presence of specific quality attributes. So that means here we are verifying whatever it may be our goals. Okay. Second thing is control scope. Here we try to reduce the control. So that means here maybe it will be controlling the time, controlling the amount, controlling the pupil. So whenever it will be reaches to the out of the scope, then it will be try to reduce that scope here, and we try to develop the software within the time period, and within the same budget, and within the same pupil only. And another one is the cost effectiveness. Evaluation process should make sure that the evaluation likely to exceed the cost.
అదేలా మామూలుగా ఆయన ఆరోగ్యం బాగానే ఉందా అంట.
Hello. All of you, please mute yourself first. Thank you. In the last class, we are discussing the key personal availability. So it is imperative to secure the time of the architect or at least someone who can speak authoritatively about the system's architecture and design. So that means this is completely related with the security. So how we are providing the security. So that is also one of the main architecture evaluation so issue. So why? Because so how we are performing the evaluation means, for example, maybe after developing the software to the end user, so if you are not properly performing the security issue, so then it will be occurring the chance of lot of losses. Why? Because, for example, if we are developing some software to the banking sector, then what will happen if you are not providing the security properly? So we need to verify that thing is also the one of the main design issue. So that type of the software completely used by to the end user only. For example, maybe if that user set the some password that is not able to open by the either architect or maybe the software developer. So complete control is by the only end user. So then only we are maintaining the security in the proper way. This person primarily should be able to communicating the facts of the architecture quickly and clearly, as well as the motivation behind the architectural decisions. For very large systems, the designers for each major component need to be involved to ensure that architects notion of the system design in fact reflected and manifested in more detailed levels. So that means here we are completely focused onto the software security only. Okay, and the next one is the competent evaluation team. Here we are evaluating how much of qualities we are already, how much of quality is we are achieved by the developed architecture. So those things are verified into the competent evaluation team. So ideally, software architecture evaluation teams are separate entities within the corporation and must be perceived as impartial, objective, and respected. The team must be seen as being composed of people appropriate to carry out the evaluation, so that the project personnel will not regard the evaluation as a waste of time, so that its conclusion will carry weight. So it must include the people fluent architecture and architectural issues and led by someone with solid experience in designing and evaluating projects and architecture level. So that means here we are verifying whether this developed architecture is suitable to deliver in the market or not. Why? Because the same type of functionality performed by more number of softwares. So then what is the level of this software architecture before delivering into the end users? So if we are observing that level of the or maybe the status of this software architecture, so we are maybe having the chance to improving our quality. And the second thing is manager expectation. So that means the name is implies here we are managing our expectations. So that means, for example, maybe if we are not achieving our desired quality, or maybe if you are not achieving our desired goal, or maybe if we are not achieved our desired functionality, then we try to manage and try to include those which type of properties are needed, which type of money, which type of functionalities are needed before we are developing the software. What we are having our desired goals, those type of things are included. So before delivering to the end user, so that is nothing but related to the manage expectations. Critical to the evaluation success is clear mutual understanding of the expectations of the organization sponsoring it. The evaluation should be clear about what its goals are, what it will produce, what areas will investigate, how much time and resource it will take from the project, and to whom results will be delivered. So that means all these things are necessary to clearly inspecting the architecture. So that means all these are necessary to performing the evaluation of the architecture. So what we have discussed up to now, so just here we are first in the initial case, we are consider the 6 issues. So what are they? First of all, we are verifying what is the financial issue. Second one, we try to provide the preparation of the reviews for each and every time of the some particular period of time. For example, maybe if you are needed, for example, 3 months. if you are needed for needed 3 months to developing the software, for example, every 15 days, we are arranging some review, how much of what is the status to developing the software, and we try to provide some documentation. So that will be provide easier understanding between the some other developers, between the developers. So it will be avoiding the confusions, and they are having some idea what we try to achieve and how much of we are achieved and what achieved in the future. So all these are achieved through to preparing the reviews. And the third one is capture rational. So that means here we are identify so whether we are how much of qualities are we are achieved. And fourth one is we are identifying the problems, and fifth one is validation requirements, and sixth one is improved architectures. So these are the 6 steps to inspecting the evaluation of the architecture. And we are maintaining some properties also. So those are first one, we are trying to identify what we are required. So that means clearly articulated goals. And second thing is controlling the scope. And third thing is cost effectiveness. And fourth one is key personality. And fourth one is evaluating in the competing environment. And final one is managed expectations. So now we are discussing the new topic. So that is ATAM. In the exam point of view, this is important question. And if you are observing this in this unit, just only we are having 2 parts. In the first part, we are discussing up to now. So that is architecture evaluation and design decision. Architects design decision making. Okay. So and another 2 topics are ATAM and another one is the CBAM. So now we are discussing about ATAM. First of all, we try to know about what is ATAM. The full form of ATAM is Architecture Trade-off Analysis Method. Thorough and comprehensive way to evaluate software architecture. So that means this will be used for to evaluating the software architecture. So what we are, which type of steps are followed into the ATAM, which type of phases are followed in the ATAM, those are used for completely evaluating the software architecture, and this is the best way. So and the name is implies a thorough and comprehensive way. What is the meaning of thorough here? So we are clearly observe. So that means we try to explain every details, and we will be able to evaluate the software architecture. The ATM, so the ATAM is so named because it reveals how well an architecture satisfy the particular quality of goals, because it recognizes the architectural decisions tend to affect more than one quality attribute. It provides insight into how quality goals interact. That is how the trade-off. So that means here we are verifying. So nothing but we try to provide the evaluation of the software architecture. The ATM is designed to elicit the business goals for the system as well as for the architecture. It is also designed to use those goals stakeholder participation to focus attention of the evaluators portion of the architecture is central to the achieved goals. So that means the main purpose of using ATAM is to achieve the desired goals to performing the evaluation. Okay, so what are the who are the participants in the ATAM? So here we are considered 3 types of groups. So the evaluation team, project decision makers, and another one is the architecture stakeholders. So in the case of evaluation team, 4 to 5 people are needed to performing the evaluation. In the case of project decision makers, we need 3 persons. Those are PM, customer, architect. Who is PM means project manager. Okay. And another architecture stakeholders recommended 12 to 15 members. So up to now we are discussing 3 types of participants here. So those are evaluation team, project decision makers team, and the last one is architecture stakeholders. So in the case of evaluation team, I think the name is implies. Here we are performing the evaluation. Okay, so why we are performing the evaluation means the main purpose of using the ATAM is one of the efficient way to performing the evaluation to achieving our desired qualities. Okay, so this group is external to the project. So here we need 4 to 5 members, pupils are needed to performing the evaluation here. This group is external to the project whose architecture is being evaluated. It is usually consists of 3 to 5 people. Each member of the team is assigned to a number of specific roles to play during the evaluation. For example, maybe if you are performing the evaluation of the software architecture, Then how we are evaluating the software architecture? First of all, verify how many number of modules are there and what is the purpose to for to design that particular software. Now verifying whether that type of the functionality is achieved or not. Now verifying how many number of modules in the software architecture. Now verifying how to performing the performance of the particular module. For example, maybe it will be what is the performance if the number of persons are increased, or maybe a more number of persons are accessed at the same time. Then what is the performance that particular of a module? So all these things are clearly evaluated here. For example, if we are evaluating the some particular software architecture, so that means we try to assign the particular module to the particular person. So that means every person having some role to inspect the particular module. Okay, the evaluation team may be standing unit in which architecture evaluations regularly performed, or its members may be chosen from pool of architecturally 7 individuals for the occasion. Okay, they may work for same organization as the development team whose architecture is on table. They may be outside consultants. In any case, they need to be recognized as competent, unbiased outsiders with no hidden agendas or access to green. So that means here we are try to identify the errors. That is the main motive of this evaluation. So if you are clearly observing the which type of errors or maybe which type of areas are maybe the chance of occurring the higher risk, then we are having the chance to recover ourselves. So that is the main motivation of this evaluation. So in the case of ATAM, we are based upon to the 3 types of groups. So the first one is evaluation team, second one is project decision makers, and third one is here architect stakeholders. So in the case of evaluation team, we are assigning 4 or 5 people for particular module, or maybe we are assigning some role, special role for those type of members. Those member roles are performing the things individually. Okay, and second is project decision makers. So for this purpose, here we need 3 types of members. So those are first one is PM, and another one is the stakeholders, and another one is the customers also. Here, these people empowered to speak for the development project or have the authority to mandate the changes it. I think the name is implies project decision makers. So that means before developing that software project, they are giving some decisions. So those type of decisions are used to nothing but we try to achieve our desired goals or maybe the desired functionalities. They usually include the project manager. If there is an identified customer who is footing the bill for the development, he or she will be present as well. So that means here we are consider the project manager, at the same time architect, and another one is the consider the customer also. The architect is always included. A cardinal rule of architecture evaluation is that architect must willingly participate. Finally, person commissioning the evaluation is usually empowered to speak for the development project. Even if not, he or should be included in the group. So third one, so architecture stakeholders. This is the third group. Stakeholders have vested interest in the architecture performing as advertised. They are the ones whose ability to their jobs. Things on the architecture promoting modifiability, security, high reliability, or the like. Stakeholders include developers, testers, integrators, maintainers, performance engineers, users, builders, end users. So all these are related to the stakeholders. So that means who are really interacting with the software, those type of persons are completely referred to as a stakeholders. So their purpose is here try to using that developed architecture. At the same time, they are giving some feedback. So for example, maybe if you are consider some normal bike or maybe car. So after if it is a new model, then we are receiving some reviews after first service of the so upon customer requirement. At the same time, based upon that customer feedback, they try to include some other type of the things. So in the same way here also, stakeholders are able to verify some of the things here. So those are security. So whether it is maintained the high security or not. So whether it is maintains the high reliability or not. Whether it will be performed efficiently. So all these things are verified by to the stakeholders. Okay, their job during the evaluation to articulate the specific quality attribute goes that the architecture should meet in the order for the system to be considered as a success. So that means success is based on the stakeholders. A rule or thumb, a rule of thumb and shall it is that should expect at least services of the 12 to 15 stakeholders for evaluation. So that means here up to now we are discussing three types of groups are involved into the ADAM. What is the full form of ADAM? Architecture trade-off analysis method. This will be used for to improve the quality of the software architecture by performing the evaluation. Okay, here we are observing the three types of the teams. Those are evaluation team, project decision makers, and the third one is architect stakeholders. Okay, evaluation team performing need for 4 to 5 people. So to performing the evaluation efficiently, project decision makers to take some of the decisions during development of techniques of architecture. And the last one is stakeholders. They are verifying whether we are able to what is the our progress or maybe what is the our exact status of the software architecture is decided by the stakeholders. Okay, now we are verifying the outputs. So if we are using the ADM, then what will be the output here? So a concise presentation of the architecture, defined business goals, quality requirements via collection of scenarios, mapping of architectural decisions to quality requirements, a set of risks and non-risks, a set of risk teams. So that means, so if we are using ATAM, we are able to achieve all these things. So first of all, a concise presentation of the architecture. So that means we are presenter. So we try to present at the end users so good architecture, and we try to able to define. So what is our goal, and we are able to specify quality requirements through collection of scenarios. And the next one is mapping of architectural decisions to quality requirements. So that means in some type of situations, maybe we are not able to achieving our desired quality. At the time of the situation, we need to take some decisions. Those type of decisions are taken by the architects here. So those type of decisions are mapping with the to achieve our desired quality requirements. A set of risks and non-risks. These are related with the time, at the same time amount, at the same time pupil also. So a set of risk themes. All these are clearly evaluated by using the ADM. So now we can see one by one. So what is what we are achieved here? A concise presentation of the architecture. Architecture documentation is often thought to consist of the object model, a list of interfaces and their signatures or some other volumes list. So that means here we are providing some presentation at the end users. So that means that we are presenting the end user, so we give them software. At the same time, we try to provide some documentation. Based upon the documentation, those type of users able to recover the errors without based upon to the software developers or maybe the software architects. So at if the end users able to correct the errors by themselves, that is possible through if you are including all the details about the software architecture. Okay, a list of interfaces and their signatures and some other volumes list. But one of the requirements of the ADAM is that the architecture to be presented in 1 hour, which leads to an architectural presentation that is both concise and usually understandable. So that means what we are providing to the end users, that will be that will not be having the ambiguity. So this is the first design issue. Why? Because they are not having any type of the idea, or maybe they are not having any type of the programming knowledge. So they try to correct by correct by their own knowledge. So then we try to provide some understandability in the documentation. So and second thing is articulation of the business goals. Frequently business goals presented in the ADM are being seen by the some of the development team for the first time. So that means, so when we are designing some software to the end users or maybe to the some particular organization, we try to evaluate. So all these things. So that means how we are developing this, and how much of time is needed to developing this, and what type of quality issues are included into the this developed architecture, and whether we are achieved or not, performing through testing, or maybe they receiving the feedback from the customers. Here also we are verifying the business goals. What is the meaning of business goals? Means how much investment is needed and how much of properties we are able to getting in the future. And another thing, how do we are market to develop this software architecture? And in some type of situations may be occurring the rollout of the schedule also. And another thing is quality requirements in terms of the correction of scenarios. So business goals lead to the quality requirements. Some of the important quality requirements are captured in the form of scenarios. So that means here we are collecting some statements. So based upon those type of statements or maybe the feedbacks from the customer, we try to identify which type of quality is needed for to the end users. Okay, next one is mapping of architectural decisions to quality requirements. So that means here, for example, maybe if you are not achieved desired quality, if you are maybe not achieved the security properly, maybe if you are not achieved performance within the better way, so then we try to include some other things with the help of architectural decisions to achieve the quality requirements. Architectural decisions can be interpreted in terms of quality that is supported or hindered. So for each quality scenario examined during an ATM, those architectural decisions that help to achieve it are determined. Okay. A set of identified sensitivity and trade-off points. These are architectural decisions that have marked affect one or more quality attributes. So adapting backup database, for example, is clearly architectural decisions as it is affects the reliability, and so it is sensitivity point with respect to the reliability. So that means here we try to identify so sensitivity and trade-off points. So which type of things are necessary, or which type of things having the necessary to improving the quality, those type of things are performed or maybe included into the developed architecture. However, keeping the backup current consumes system resources and so affects performance negatively. Hence, it is trade-off points between the reliability and performance. So that means we try to maintain these properties in the system qualities. We also are discussing in the first unit. So reliability and performance. So a set of risks, so I think the name says here we are identifying which type of risks are occur and which type of risks not occur. Some of the risks may be related to the other risks related to the financial issue. A risk is defined in the ATM is an architectural decision that may lead to the undesirable consequences in the light of stated quality attribute requirements. So that means if we are not maintaining the particular, for example, what we are having the desired quality, so then automatically we will be face some of the risks. Similarly, non-risk and architectural decision that upon the analysis deemed safe. So if it is a non-risk, then there is no problem, and then it will be having the chance to improving our rating of the software architecture also. So a set of risk themes. When the analysis is complete, the evaluation team will examine full set of discovered risks to look for over arching themes to identify the systematic weakness in the architecture or even in the architecture process and team. So that means the risk themes will be identified. Set of risks means what are the chances, what are the limitations in a developed architecture. If you are observing that, maybe we are having the chance to recover ourselves and to updating our software architecture. So now we are discussing about the phases of the ATM. Okay, here we are consider the four types of phases. Those are 0 phase, 1 phase, 2 phase, 3 phase. So in the case of 0 phase, we are performing the activities, partnership and preparation. So that means in this step here, evaluation team leadership and key project decision makers. So typical description procedure informally required perhaps over a few weeks. So that means 0 phase will be used for partnership and preparation. Okay. And second thing is first phase, second phase, third phase. First and second phases are used for to performing the evaluation, and third phase is performing the follow-up. Okay. And if you are clearly observe this phase 0, partnership and preparation, phase 1 and 2, evaluation. Phase 1 having the 6 steps. At the same time, phase 2 having the 3 steps. So that means completely 9 steps. And phase 3 follow up the written report. So if you are observing the phase 1, so this is observing, hello, this is observing 6 steps here. Why? Because we're discussing about this. Here we are observing 3 phases here. So in the first phase, so just it will be establishing the between the partnerships. So for to whom we are developing the software, how do we are developing the software? So this is nothing but partnership and preparation. In the case of phase 1 and 2, performing the evaluation. So phase 1 having the 6 steps. What are they? So present the ATM process, present the business drivers, present the architecture, identifying the architecture approaches, generate the quality attribute tree, analyze the architectural approaches. So these 6 steps are related with the phase 1 to performing the evaluation. In the same way, here consider the phase 2 also, that can be also having the 3 steps. So what are they? Phase 2 also having the 3 steps. Those are brainstorm on prioritize scenarios, analyze the architectural approaches, and present the results. So that means finally, after using the ATM to for evaluating the software architecture, we are able to produce the better quality of the software architecture in front of the end users. And by using ATM, we can achieve our desired quality at the same time desired goals, because in the phase 1 and phase 2, the steps here. So the first one is present the ATM process. So that means what we are developing the software subject to ATM here. So ATM means here we are performing the evaluation. So we are already discussing about that. So here we are using 3 types of groups. Those type of 3 groups are performing their roles. So which type of roles? So the first one is performing the evaluation, and second one is the project decision makers, and the fourth one is stakeholders. Okay, so these 3 groups are performing different types of activities when we are presenting the ATM process. Next, present the business drivers. So that means this will be related with the business related issues. So that means how much of investment is needed, how to we are market, how to giving the market. So how much of amount is needed for to get the better market. So like this. And at the same time, in some type of situations, maybe it will be roll out the schedule, maybe it will be increasing the time. So all these are related with the business. And present the architecture. So that means here we are verifying the quality of the architecture. So that means we are identifying the errors, or maybe identifying the limitations of the functionalities of the modules. Okay, identifying the architecture approaches. And last one is generate quality attribute tree. So here we are verifying the quality attributes. We also know about that performance, reliability, security, and scalability, operability, portability. So all these are the quality attributes. So we are verifying those. And last final one is analyze the architectural approaches. Here we are observing clearly the architecture approaches. So, and in the second phase, we are analyzing the architectural approaches and brainstorm and prioritize the scenarios. So that means here we are group discussion of the. So after completing the group discussion of number of developers who are related to the developing the software architecture, then based upon those scenarios, again we try to performing the modifications, and finally we are present the results. So we tomorrow. I think we are having only 1 minute. If any member is having the problem, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can try to contact me personally also, and you can try to send me WhatsApp message also. Okay, and I try to remember one thing. Some of the most of the members not submitting the assignment. Only few members responding to the assignment. Previously, I am saying about that. So you are the responsible for your education. So I'm just giving one assignment. So what we are discussed in the first unit, you try to give the some you try to give the some like a summary. For example, maybe architecture business cycle. And another thing, when you submit the assignment to my mail, you please mention your number also. So otherwise, I'm not able to identify
bucket tub బయటికి తెచ్చుకుని కడుక్కోండి.
person. Okay. Thank you all of you. We can try to discuss remaining topics of the ADM tomorrow, and we try to discuss the CBAM topics also. We try to complete the part 1 tomorrow. Okay. Thank you all of you.